What up, though? Welcome to N.W.J, the world's most dangerous boxing platform. I don't know if any of you pugilist people out there remember a guy by the name of Ike Ibeabuchi. If not, look him up. I believe he was Nigerian, called himself the president because his first name's Ike. If you don't know about him, look him up. This guy beat David Tua, Chris Bird, end up going to prison or something, and career was shot. But from what we saw of him, which was very little, I'm not even sure how many fights he had. This guy was going to be an all-time great. He was about 6'2" and a half, around 240, chiseled. I mean, looked like a bigger Mike Tyson. That's pretty much what he was without the one punch. He could punch, but it wasn't that one punch power that Tyson had. But the dream fight would be Mike Tyson versus Ike Ibeabuchi. Who do you guys think would win that? And I don't have to tell you to go look up Mike Tyson fights because, who hasn't seen Mike Tyson? But who would win that fight? Mike Tyson, when he was running through every opponent that he faced, the Mike Tyson that beat Larry Holmes, Michael Spinks, that Mike Tyson versus the Ike Ibeabuchi that beat Chris Bird and David Tua. When Ike Ibeabuchi fought David Tua, I had never seen him before, but once I saw the fight, I'm like, where did this guy come from? They had the highest punch output of any heavyweight fight at the time, and I think it's been topped since then, but don't quote me on that. But who do I think would win that fight? Mike Tyson and Ike Ibeabuchi, because Ike was the full package. Size, he could take a punch. Well, going by today's heavyweights, 6'2", 6'3" is short, but that doesn't always matter because Ruiz beat Joshua, who's way taller. A guy 6 feet beat Deontay in the amateurs. So that doesn't always matter. They might be at the right height to connect to your chin. Guys 6'2", Oliver McCall and Hasim Rahman beat Lennox Lewis, who was 6'5". So Emmanuel Stewart said closer to 6'6". But Ike was a full package. He could punch. He had a chin. He had stamina. He beats Mike Tyson in the stamina department because he went 12 rounds with David Tua, and we know David Tua was tough, big legs, and could punch. You remember that David Tua knockout against Michael Moore? I think stopped him early with a body shot. But who would have won that fight? It might come down to whoever landed first. If it goes to later rounds, you got to give it to Ike because he had better stamina than Tyson. Tyson had been the distance, against Tony Tucker and some others, but Mike would start to fade, by around, the middle rounds, he'd start to kind of hold like Teddy Atlas calls silent agreements and the other person holds. So if it's early, Mike Tyson might catch Ike and then finish him off. If Ike can withstand that, which he might be able to do since he withstood it from David Tua, who was a very hard puncher, not quite the one-shot puncher as Mike Tyson, but pretty close, around the same height and build as well. So I can't just pick one guy. Like I said, if it was early, Mike Tyson. If it goes late, Ike Ibeabuchi. What do you guys think? And like I said, if you don't know who Ike Ibeabuchi is, go watch his videos. You won't be disappointed. I mean, and it was hard for Chris Bird was like a middleweight in the Olympics, and he ended up fighting at heavyweight in the pros. But he was beating guys with his little slickness and stuff like that. But he couldn't mess with Ike. Ike would just cut off the ring, get him on the rope. So Ike Ibeabuchi handled Chris Bird, which was no easy task. I think Chris Bird he fought Galata and beat him. So I want to know what you guys think. Who would have won that fight? Anyway, this is N.W.J. I'm wearing a Slabway shirt. No, they're not sponsoring me yet, but they sent me this t-shirt. I bought their foot massager works really great, you know, but I kind of put my hands in it because I've been working out for so many years. Sometimes my hands feel a little, just feels good to my hands, you know. So I use a foot massager for my hands, you know, and I got pretty big hands. So anyway, it's N.W.J, the world's most dangerous boxing platform. And make sure this page takes off like a car with the brakes off. LSR forever. The reason I'm doing this.